No money, no one by his side, no one to trust him, but Jack still did not give up. Because of a promise, because of a girl, he used all his strength to build a home from scratch. Today, let's follow that touching and courageous journey with us, where love is not just a word, but a solid house in the midst of life's storms. That morning, Jack sat in his office, holding the phone in his hand to call a close friend. His voice was warm but decisive. "If you're free this morning, please help me. I'm preparing to recruit more staff for the company." After the call, Jack stood up and adjusted his collar. Today he was dressed more neatly than usual. His white shirt was neatly ironed, his hair was neatly combed, and his eyes were filled with the determination of someone who was gradually realizing his dream. Going downstairs, Jack saw Tien sitting in the living room, attentively taking notes in a small notebook. He walked closer and asked softly, "What are you doing?" Tien looked up and smiled lightly. "I'm calculating how much I sold at the market this month, and if I made any profit." Her eyes were gentle but filled with daily worries. Seeing Jack dressed somewhat differently, Tien curiously asked, "Where did you go today that you look so smart?" Jack smiled and replied, "I'm organizing a recruitment session." Tien nodded, then said gently, "I'm not very good at recruiting people, so I probably can't help you." Jack waved his hand. "It's okay. I've asked my friend for help. You just do your job." Tien closed the notebook and said softly, "Then I'll go to the fields to harvest and then take the vegetables to the market to sell." So the two of them, each with their own worries and dreams, but under the same roof, they walked out the door, starting a new day, simple but full of hope. That morning, Jack arrived at the company very early. He had just parked his motorbike in front of the gate when he saw Uncle Dung waiting. The middle-aged man with an experienced face, serious but friendly eyes, waved to Jack with a warm smile. "You're here? Try your best today," he said, his voice full of encouragement. Just a few minutes later, Trung, Jack's right-hand man, also appeared with a strange woman. Trung introduced, "This is Ms. Hua. I invited her to help with the recruitment work today. She used to work in human resources for a large corporation, has experience screening and interviewing candidates." Jack shook Ms. Hua's hand, his eyes sparkling with gratitude. "Thank you for accepting to help. Everyone has worked hard today." The four people quickly entered the meeting room. The discussion atmosphere was urgent but open. Jack presented the recruitment criteria very clearly. "We need people with practical experience, who can start working right away. A degree is also very important, at least from college or higher. But the most important thing is attitude. I want people with a progressive spirit and responsibility." Uncle Dung nodded in agreement. Trung and Ms. Hua also added comments on soft skills and teamwork ability. Everything was quickly agreed upon. About 30 minutes later, the first candidates began to arrive. They sat neatly outside the waiting room, holding their resumes, their eyes filled with excitement. The interviews took place continuously. One person left, another came in. Each candidate had a different color. Some were confident, some were shy, some spoke fluently, some were still confused. The judges listened attentively, asked detailed questions, and took careful notes on each resume. By noon, the interview ended. Jack stood up, walked out to the waiting area, and announced, "Thank you for participating in today's interview. Because there are quite a lot of candidates, we need time to discuss. The results will be announced in 2 days. You can go home and wait for the response email." Everyone nodded, thanked each other, and then left one by one, carrying hope and excitement. After finishing, Jack looked at everyone in today's lineup, his eyes filled with gratitude. He said, "Thank you everyone for your support. I invite everyone home for lunch." Jack told Uncle Dung to take everyone home first, while Tien and I stopped by the farm for a while and then returned. On the way to the farm, Jack and Tien stopped by a roadside store to buy drinks for the workers at the construction site. The small pickup truck stopped in front of the store. Jack got out first, picked out a few cans of cold water, and carefully loaded them into the truck. Tien helped him put them in a corner so that they could easily share them with everyone when they got there. The two of them chatted while working. The atmosphere was light and intimate, like a couple who were used to a busy life but full of small joys. As the truck continued to roll, Jack and Tien sat in the cabin chatting endlessly. They talked about the construction site, the market, and even the first time they went to deliver water to the workers. Story after story, laughter echoed in the narrow space of the truck, drowning out the roar of the engine. Tien giggled when Jack told her about the first time he fell while wading through the rice fields, while Jack teased her about bringing vegetables to the market without even his wallet. Amidst the hustle and bustle, the two found peace and connection in simple moments like that. When they arrived, Jack stopped the car in front of the farm, where the construction of a house for Tien that he had just started a few days ago was underway. The rain had just stopped. The ground was still wet. Muddy puddles stretched from the gate to the foundation digging area. Jack opened the trunk, took out 2 pairs of rubber boots. One pair he gave to Tien. The other pair he put on his feet. It's been raining non-stop these days. The ground is very soft. Wearing shoes often makes you slip and fall, he said while looking at her and smiling. Tien nodded in thanks, then carefully put on the boots. When the two entered the construction site, Tien was surprised to see an elderly man hunched over, hoeing the ground with a group of workers. Recognizing him as her ex-father-in-law, she was a bit stunned, but quickly regained her composure and politely greeted, "Hello, Dad." The man looked up, wiped the sweat from his forehead, and smiled lightly. "Oh, you're here too? Dad has nothing to do at home, so I came out to help you guys for fun. Besides, sitting around is boring." His voice was no longer as harsh as before, but a bit relieved, as if after so many events, he had gradually learned to live a more simple life. Tien carried a few bottles of water down from the car, walked around to give them to each person. Everyone happily thanked him, smiles clearly visible on their sweaty faces. Jack then took out the blueprint from his bag and walked towards the foreman, who had many years of experience in the profession. "I need you to help me with this part. Since the project is small, we'll just dig it by hand, but you need it to be square and in proportion to the drawing." The foreman took the drawing, nodded, and replied, "Yeah, I know, but it's been raining non-stop this time. It's been very slow." Jack patted his shoulder and smiled friendly. "It's okay. As long as it's done according to the design. It's okay to be a little slow, not letting time pass by in vain." Both Jack and Tien rolled up their sleeves and started working with everyone. They held shovels, shoveled soil, dug the foundation. One passed the shovel to the other, coordinating rhythmically like professional workers. Sweat beaded on their foreheads. Dirt covered their sleeves, but neither of them complained. Clouds began to gather on the horizon, signaling another rain was coming. This made them even more urgent, digging faster, reminding each other to be careful as they worked. In the soft gray light of the sky about to rain, the image of Jack and Tien working together in the mud was a testament to their solidarity, to their desire to build, not just the project in front of them, but also a future behind the simple dreams they had built together.